Have you guys ever played any of those Sierra-inspired games? You know, the point-and-click type adventures where there's a story and then there's things you have to collect. You looking for a new one? Check out my review today to find the perfect game for you. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Mumbles. Today, I'm here to bring you guys another game review. And today's game review is on a game called Planet Rix-13. So, Planet Rix-13. But before we get into anything, I have to address this behind me. I am using a green screen today, so if things look a little funky, bear with me this week for these 3 episodes, because I'm using green screen to see how it will enhance my videos. So please, if it's green, I understand why, or understand why it's green, and just know that things will improve as we move forward. So now without further ado, I do have to ask you guys all a huge favor. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel grow. Also, drop a like and let me know your feedback below. I really like to hear what you guys want to see in these videos. I like to know what you guys want done differently. So do not be afraid to comment and say, hey Mumbles, you're an idiot. Hey Mumbles, do this. Hey Mumbles, do that. I love to hear that kind of stuff. So please let me know if there's anything I can do better for you guys. Now without further ado, let's jump into this game review. Planet Rix-13 is a game that costs $2.99 and is created by a game company called Nine Eyes Game Studios. Now, to this time, the only 2 games that this company has made is Planet Rix-13 and Stately Snail Games. Now, Planet Rix-13 is available on a couple different systems. Those systems include PlayStation 4, which is what this game is being reviewed on today, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation Vita, and Steam. In my own words, this game is a point-and-click adventure game that tells the story of a spaceman who has been stranded on an alien world and must use the item around him to explore and escape the planet. Very simple, very simplistic, but the question is it a good game or not? Let's find out. First off, let's talk about the graphics, the soundtrack, and the controls. The graphics in this game are very well done, very crisp and clean. However, they're not ultra realistic or, ultra well done or anything like that. They're just okay graphics, nothing too impressive. Soundtrack wise, this game unfortunately suffers from the thing that many games suffer from. Gaming elevator music. That just means that it has background music that is just there to please your ears and nothing else. Doesn't impact the gameplay at all. And if you know anything about my game reviews, you know that I like games that have music that impact the gameplay. Now, control-wise, this game is basically a point-and-click adventure. Only on the PlayStation 4, you're using the control. Now, control-wise, it does work good, it being a point-and-click adventure, and nothing more to really talk about in that section. Now let's talk about the gameplay. If you have ever played any of those old-school type Sierra games, then this is basically that kind of game, but on a simpler level. Basically, this game asks the player to explore areas, find items that are usable, and use them in other areas. It's kind of a puzzle-type point-and-click adventure. Basically, you have to find items in order to move on to the next area, and then find more items in that area to move on to the next area, so on and so forth. Backtracking sometimes. That's all this game really is. There's nothing more to really talk about here in the gameplay section. Now let's talk about the cons for this game. The first con for this game is that this game, even puzzle-wise, can be a bit too simple at times. I know point-and-click adventures are supposed to be simple and easy on the brain, but this game takes it almost to too low of a level. I mean, in as much as at times I would just be like not even paying attention to the game, what was going on, and I'd just be clicking everything, and I'd find stuff and I'd do stuff with it. So I like a game that kind of makes your brain go, oh, I gotta think. This isn't one of those games. Now, the second con is that this game isn't anything we haven't seen before. There are plenty of point-and-click adventure type games like this out there. And I would even have to go so far as to say there are some that do things better than this game does. Now, my final con for this game is that this game is unfortunately rather repetitive. It's just one of those games that has a repetitive vibe to it. I'm sorry, it just does. So all that's really left now to ask is, what is Planet Rix-13 going to get on our Mumbles review? I've done a lot of point-and-click adventure games on this channel. I've reviewed all different kinds of games, and I have to say that this game just didn't impress me too much. It's a fun game. It's got a neat story to it, somewhat, but for the most part, it just is kind of what it is. You walk around, you pick up things, and you just do it. It's one of those kind of time waster games you don't really have to think much about. And it's for that reason I didn't have to think much about giving it a score of 5 out of 10 on our Mumbles review. It's still a fun game. It's a very fun game. If you like point-and-click adventures, you're probably going to like this game. If you like those old-school type Sierra games, like, Echo the Dolphin and things like that, you're probably going to love this game. but it's not anything that's really going to test your mind or make you think too much. Nothing of that sort. So 5 out of 10. Definitely check it out. Link in the description. And yeah, guys, this has been another episode of Mumbles. I want to thank you guys all so much for joining me. Please smack that subscribe button, smack that like button, and smack all those buttons. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.